Forrest, congratulations on being inducted into the Texas Business Hall of Fame. Forrest is an amazing talent in that he has succeeded greatly in business and also heavily involved over many years in civic and charitable work, benefiting two of our major cities here in Texas, Dallas and Houston. And who else has had a dinosaur named after them? So Forrest, congratulations on your induction into the Texas Business Hall of Fame. You're a wonderful friend. You've been a great role model for me, and I know many others.
Forrest Hoglund's career in the oil and gas industry has spanned what he calls 3 phases of life, and the common thread of all of them is something he calls his biggest flaw.
The way I've been able to size up projects and determine if they're really any good or not is, first of all, I have a big flaw. I am way too optimistic. I generally see things in a positive vein, but it's done very well for me, actually.
That's the thing about Forrest, is he wakes up every day and chooses happy. It doesn't mean that things are easy, but his enthusiasm and his choice for happy really is pervasive in everything he does.
He's not someone who is a pessimist at all. He's a very optimistic person.
Forrest graduated Kansas University in Phase 1. Then he had to make a choice between playing ball for a Yankees farm team or becoming an engineer.
When I started with Exxon, I just got into engineering jobs, and then after a while they put me in a management job, and then I kind of got on the fast track, and so they started changing me every 18 months. So we went to New Orleans and back to Houston and ended up in New York City, of all places, with the Mother Corp at that time. Well, I really decided I didn't want to work for the same company all my business life. I wanted to do other things. So I had a wonderful opportunity to go become president of a high-flying oil and gas company in Dallas, Texas. It was called Texas Oil and Gas.
In Phase 2, Forrest took over Texas Oil and Gas and grew it significantly. It then merged with U.S. Steel, but that put him back in a large firm and owning less. So it was time for another change.
Leaving U.S. Steel at that time, I went to become president of Enron Oil and Gas, EOG. One of the interesting things was, and probably one of the best business decisions I ever made in my life, was when Ken Lay asked me to go on the board of Enron. I told him, well, Ken, I'd look at that as a conflict of interest. I'd been around long enough that I finally decided, nope, I just don't think that's right, and we'll run EOG separately, and what a great decision that turned out to be.
The company was really a bit of a wreck at that time, and I don't think Forrest had been told that it was in as sorry shape as it was. Number one, he didn't panic. He took a very methodical approach. He took a very logical approach to well, how are we going to fix this thing? When Forrest retired, the value was generally between $2 and $3 billion. So, you know, it was probably in the range of about a 10-fold increase under his watch, really.
Well, I left the very day we got EOG out of Enron because I wanted to go do my own thing. I wanted to get smaller and own more.
I think he's just passionate about the world, and he's a lifelong learner, and he is eternally looking for how to make the world a better place.
The C1 venture that he's currently involved in may well eclipse what he did at Enron Oil and Gas.
C1 is a company that has a new patented technology that can provide clean, low-cost energy basically anywhere in the world.
Through all 3 phases, Forrest and the Hoglund Foundation have championed powerful philanthropic endeavors, raising over $1 billion for causes, from his college to world-class museums to launching Reasoning Mind, preparing children for algebra.
Forrest, I think, with everything he does, really puts his heart and soul into it, whether it's the businesses he's started, whether it's C1 that he's building today, and whether it's his philanthropy.
We just feel good about doing things for other people. Reasoning Mind, Perot Museum, all of these kind of things can really change people's lives.
He can make a very impassioned story to justify why this is a very important cause that he's advocating.
Just my engineering background, I just naturally gravitated to the Museum of Natural Science in Houston, became chairman, and I would come to Dallas and we had a very substandard museum at that time.
If you were going to build a great science museum, you needed Forrest Hoglund on board. He was renowned in philanthropy circles and in the oil and gas world for dreaming big, thinking big, and making things happen. And we're able to raise almost $210 million thanks to Forrest's help.
I have never raised $1 that somebody didn't want to give. So my only job is to present something to them that gets them excited, and, away we go.